Motzei Shabbos, November 18th, at Kal Chasidim. Do you think Hanukkah is in 8 days, or do you think Hanukkah lasts for 8 days?
Last for 8 days.
Which Hebrew month is Hanukkah? It's in
Slave.
Kislev, right. Okay, what day in Kislev is Hanukkah? Okay, Dovi, what day in Kislev is Hanukkah?
25th.
Dovi says the 25th. He says, do you think he's right? Do you think it's the 25th?
I think it's December 10th.
I don't know. Maybe it's December 10th this year. I don't know.
I know because Shivka's birthday's on Hanukkah and Shivka's birthday's December 10th.
But in the Hebrew month, every year it falls out on the same date. And it is the 25th. Now, here's something very interesting. Think about the word Chanukah. What does the word Chanu mean? Well, what are the last 2 letters of the word Chanukah? The last 2 letters. It says Chanukah over here. It says right here, it says Chanukah. What are the last 2 letters of the word Chanukah?
Chaf and Hay.
Chaf Hey. Now, Chaf Hey. Chanukah is on which day of Kislev? Is it on Chaf Hey Kislev? It's on Chaf Hey Kislev, okay? It's on the 25th day of Kislev. Okay, so the last 2 letters of Chanukah, he says, do you have that? Do you understand that? What do the first letters mean? What does Chanu mean? What does Menachem mean? Menachem. Or no? What is Nacha? Hey, it means to rest. Okay? Chanu means they rested. Okay? It could also mean other things too. Okay. Someone rested on Chafei. Who rested on? Did Gramps rest on Chafei like he sat in a recliner and started to read the paper?
Hashem rested.
Hashem rested. I thought Hashem rested on Shabbos. On the 7th day of the week, did Hashem rest on Shabbos?
Yes.
Okay, Hashem rested on Shabbos. Okay, now who rested on Chafei Kislev? You don't know? Okay, Dovi, who do you think rested on Chafei Kislev? Who do you think rested on Chafei Kislev?
I don't know.
Well, let's think here. Here are the possibilities. We have the Greeks. We have, Hashem. Or we have the Jews. Okay? Who are the people that rested? Yeah.
The Jews.
Right, the Jews. They rested. What did they rest from? What was happening before Chafei Kislev? Was there a war?
Yes.
Yes, there was a war. Okay, now.
Because there's a war right now.
And there's a war right now. Okay, now.
In Eretz Yisrael.
In Eretz Yisrael. Now. Did anybody bring elephants to the war?
No.
Okay, he says that it says nobody brought elephants to the war. But he says that, here's the question over here.
Wait, I know the answer.
One second, before we get there, we have to ask you a shayla. In the Shemona Esrei, on Chanukah, this is what we say. We say, Al HaNisim. What does Nisim mean? What does the word Nes mean?
Nes means a nace. No, Nes means a miracle.
A miracle, right. The Al HaPorkan, I don't know what that. Gibor, what does that mean? Or the strength, okay? The Al Chus, in the days, this is what it says here, I'll translate it. In the days of Matisyahu ben Yochanan Kohen Gadol, Chashmonai, and his children, when the Greek Malchus, when the Greek kingdom, the evil Greek kingdom, stood up on your nation Yisrael to forget your Torah Hakdosh, to forget your Torah, and to make them transgress your laws. We're saying Hashem's laws. And you, meaning Hashem, in your great mercy and compassion, you stood to them at a time of their pain. Ravta es rivam, there was the Yudanta es dinam, you raved their riv means a machlokas, I don't know, rav, you judged their dinim, the kamta, you took revenge on those that they needed to take revenge. Masart, you gave over the strong ones into the hands of the weak ones. Who were the weak ones and who were the strong ones? We have Greeks or Jews? Were the Greeks the weak ones or the strong ones?
The weak ones.
So,
Weak means light, by the way.
so I know that's why. So they were actually the strong ones. The Greeks were the strong ones,
That's what I was gonna say.
and the Jews were the weak ones. And yet, who won?
The Jews.
The Jews. So that was a miracle, because how could a weak person... Right, nice. How could someone who can't fight beat someone who could fight? So that was a miracle. So that's something which Hashem did. V'rabim b'yad ma'atim, and there were lots of people, but they were given over to the few people. Who had lots of people and who had little people? Few people.
I don't know.
Who do you think? Do you think the Greeks had lots of people or the Jews had lots of people?
I know.
Okay, go.
The Jews were the fewer people.
The Jews were the few people, and
The Greeks had more people.
And the Greeks had a lot of people, and yet who won?
Jews.
The Jews. Okay. Utmeim bi'ad tahorim, you gave over those who are impure into the hands of those that are pure. Yeah, what's your shayla?
In Killa Avenue this week, it's like, what do you do on Chanukah? No, like later the clowning, and Chaim said, like, so what do you do on Chanukah? Oh, I take my harmonica.
He plays with his harmonica. Now, why do you think he plays with his harmonica on Chanukah? Do you think he does it just because it rhymes?
Yes.
But do you think maybe, what if, is there any other words that rhyme with Chanukah?
No.
No? Could you think of any words that rhyme with Chanukah? I can't. Okay, so it could be he took his harmonica because it rhymed with Chanukah, but it could also be...
He got it for a present.
But it could also be maybe, should a person play music on Chanukah?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it could be that he could have taken the piano, maybe he used the harmonica instrument because it rhymed with Chanukah, but we are supposed to sing songs on Chanukah. Yeah.
He took his harmonica instrument to dance.
Okay, very good. So that's what it says in
You guys are supposed to dance on Hanukkah.
Right, so that's what it says in 613 Avenue. Now it says Hashem gave over the impure into the hands of the pure. Who were pure and who was impure? Who was tahor and who was tameh?
The Greeks.
Right, the Greeks are tameh, and so who was tahor?
Jews.
Okay, right. Now, why would we be thanking Hashem? Like, I understand we thanked Hashem. I would say, listen, just thank Hashem. He gave over the mighty ones into the hands of the weak ones. Fine. Okay, he gave over the Rabbim, the many ones, in the hands of the little ones. Okay, so we're saying over this prayer, this tefillah is like, wow, like look what Hashem did. He, not only that, another wow. Like we get to think about it. Like, yeah, they were strong and they were weak. Like that's a good point. Yeah, and we won. Wow, thank you, Hashem. Oh, here's another good point. They were a lot and we were a little. No, we still won. And then here's another point. They were tameh and we were tahor. So this one becomes less. I'm not sure what the wow is in that one. But let's go.
That one, like, of course, Hashem is going to help the one that's...
So now we're just recognizing, it says, Urashayim biyad tzadikim, and the Rashayim are given over to the hands of the tzadikim. Because a lot of times the Rashayim are not given over to the hands, a lot of times the Rashayim win. But in this case, the tzadikim won. Now, the Zaydim biyad oske, now it could be... There's something very interesting about Chanukah that we don't find by any other yontif, by any other war, something very unique about Chanukah. And I'm going to tell you what it is, because you may not think about it. On Purim, let's start with Purim. On Purim, did Klal Yisrael do tshuva?
Yes.
Klal Yisrael did tshuva, right?
Of course.
So after Klal Yisrael did tshuva, right? By Chanukah, did Klal Yisrael do tshuva?
Yes.
What do you say?
Yes.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm not sure if they did tshuva.
Because they weren't.
In fact, many Jews were off the derech. By Chanukah, there was actually very few Jews who kept the Torah. And yet we still won. So that's what we're thanking Hashem for. We're saying what we're thanking Hashem for is that you looked at, Hashem, you looked at the Tahor Yidden and you allowed the Tamid people to become part of the Torah. If Hashem would have looked at the Jewish people as a whole, we would have lost the war. But what Hashem did, Hashem just looked at the Frum Yidden. That's it. And in that case, we won the war. So it's a special thank you.
It's almost like if you have a fire and you have a sword, like which one's stronger? The sword. But which one's gonna win? The fire. The fire will burn the sword.
The fire will burn the sword.
But who's stronger? The sword.
The sword is stronger.
So it's like the Jews are the fire and the Goyim were the sword. Which one is stronger? The sword. Which one will win? The fire.
Okay, it might be like that, except really we won Hashem. It was kind of like a miracle. But think of Chanukah gives us a lot of hope for now. Now, I'll tell you why. Because right now, we think that everyone keeps Shabbos. We think all the Jews keep Shabbos. You know why? Why do you think we think that all the Jews keep Shabbos? Because we live in a community where all the Jews keep Shabbos. But most of the Jews don't live over here. There's many Jews that don't even know they're Jewish. So a person might think, okay, we want Mashiach to come. If we do tshuva, Mashiach will come, right? So, but the thing is that how are we ever going to get the Jews to keep Shabbos if there's Jews who don't even know what Shabbos is? There's Jews who don't even know they're Jewish. Chanukah gives us hope for now because we say just like Hashem over there was able to separate. He said he's not going to look at all the Jews. He's going to look at just this. I think it was just one family, right? The Chashmonaim. Who was it? Matisya. It was like just a little family. We're going to see, okay? Okay, we're going to get to that. Okay, so, and the Rishoyim were in the hands of the tzaddikim, because we're pointing this out, because it wasn't just the Greeks, it was even the Jews. Part of the Jews lost the war. It was only the Jews who were religious, who were tahor, who were tzaddikim, they won the war. The Jews who wanted to go to the Beis HaMikdash.
Some people actually learned Torah all day what they could until the Greeks came. He learned Torah all day.
Right.
And some of them learn in dark closets.
Right now, I thought it was going to talk about elephants in here, but it didn't. So, therefore, we're going to have to go to here, where I'm sure it would tell us about elephants. Right, now let's go over here. So our original question was, do you think there's any elephants in the war? Yisrael Zev said no, and Dovi said yes. Here's the story. The Bayis Sheni, during the second Beis HaMikdash, Kishemalchu Malchei Risha,
I said there were elephants.
But listen to the story here. When there were Rishaim, the king was Rishaim, Gazru Gezer, they made decrees on Klal Yisrael, and they nullified the religion. They made it that we cannot practice our religion. And they did not let us be osek in Torah or mitzvos. Okay, so were we allowed to learn Torah?
Yes.
Wait. No, we were not allowed to learn Torah. Okay? They made a decree that we're not allowed to learn Torah. Okay? I mean, Hashem wanted us to learn. We did learn, but they made a decree that we're not allowed to learn Torah, and we're not allowed to do mitzvos. Some say there actually were only 4 things that they were not allowed to do. These were bittul. Right, bris. Yeah, what are the 4 things? Okay, Dovi says it was a bris. What about Rosh Chodesh?
No, you can't
right.
wear a white shirt. They can't keep Shabbos, do mitzvos.
Maybe it's only 3 things. Okay, but it sounds like it's possible. It might have been, according to some, it might have been the whole religion. Below in Nicha they weren't able to learn Torah or to keep mitzvahs. Okay, and they took money. They stole all of our money. Okay, and they took all of the girls. Okay, so did they take all the girls?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
And I don't know. They wanted to marry them or something. And they went into the Heichal, which they went into the Beis HaMikdash, and they breached it, like they broke into it. And they made those things which are pure, they made them not pure. And they caused a lot of happiness or pain to Klal Yisrael.
Pain.
Hey, what do you say? Toby said pain. What do you say?
Pain.
You also say pain. Okay, they caused a lot of pain. It says me'od, very much. V'ipneihem ulachutzam lachitz gadol, broke them until they caused pain until something happened. What happened? It says rach until Yerucham, until rachem aleim. Hashem had rachamim on them. Elokei avoseinu v'yoshim yadam yitzin. It doesn't say they did tshuva and then Hashem had rachamim. It just says they had pain until Hashem just saw their pain. Now, this is very interesting because of the nickname dreidel. What's the difference between a dreidel and a grogger? Both of them have a little thing that goes like that and a thing that goes like that. So, what's the difference between
I know.
Okay, what?
Is that they're both different shapes.
Okay, so he says that it says because they're both different shapes.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
Toby's...
Because they're from a different story, and also a grogger makes noise, and a dreidel you spin. Oh.
Okay.
But also because they're from different relatives.
They're from
A
different
dreidel is from Yom. A dreidel is from Chanukah, and the grogger is from Purim.
Fine, there's another difference, which none of you have said. Another difference. It's the way we spin it. Okay?
A dreidel is spin like that, and a grogger is spin like
Right,
that.
it's the exact opposite. A dreidel, the spinner is above the thing. By a grogger, the spinner is below the thing. Yeah.
Then what's the difference between shaking caporas and doing a grogger? You have to both go like that.
Okay.
There's a
Okay,
big
fine.
difference about that.
Fine. We'll get to kaparas maybe. Well, before we get there, here's the thing. So Chazal tell us, because this is exactly what happened. When it came to the Purim story, so when you make that grogger, it's as if we, down here, Klaisa de Tshuva, we did stuff down here, and it caused an uproar in Shemayim. That's exactly what happened. We did something over here, and then Shemayim changed everything. Okay? By the Chanukah story, Hashem is the one. We didn't preach it. Like, Hashem just gave us a kiss saying I love you. That's really what happened. All of the Hisoros came from Shemayim.
Because Purim, the Purim story, we kissed Hashem and we say I love Hashem, and by the Chanukah story, Hashem kissed the Jews and said I love you.
Klal Yisrael really did not do tshuva by the Chanukah story. What Hashem did is there were good Yidden. So Hashem looked at the good Yidden. He had Rachmanis. A lot of times, if Hashem sees you're in enough pain, He'll have Rachmim on you, even if you didn't do tshuva. What's the main celebration? There was a war. The war ended on the 25th day of Kislev. The Jewish people won the war, and then there was this 8-day miracle with the oil. What do you think? What is a more special thing to celebrate? The winning of the war, or the candles lasting for 8 days?
I know.
What?
The winning of the war.
So Dobie says the winning of the war. What do you say?
The winning of the war.
Why do you say the winning of the war?
Winning of a war, we would have all got killed. If we lost, we would have all got killed, Chas v'shalom. And if we didn't light the menorah, then we wouldn't. It's not like we're feeling as bad.
Right, but most people, if you ask them what's Chanukah all about, no one's going to tell you the war. Everyone's going to tell you all about the Chanukah menorah, but the main miracle was the winning of the war. Now we're still trying to figure out if there were elephants. So far we've heard nothing about elephants. Okay? So, with Sar Laman Road, the Gavru B'nei Chashmonai Kohanim Agdolim. The B'nei Chashmonai, the Kohanim Gedolim, had a lot of power. The Hargum Ve'oshenu Yisrael Miyadam. And they went out to kill, and they saved Klal Yisrael. The Chazra Malchus Yisrael, because of this family, I think it was one family, it's like impossible to imagine this.
One family versus whole entire nation.
Right. The Chazra Malchus, the kingdom, went back to Klal Yisrael for another 200 years until the destruction of the second Beis HaMikdash. Which story happened first, Chanukah or Purim? Yisrael will answer first because whatever Dovi says he's going to say. So, Yisrael, which one happened first, Chanukah or Purim?
Chanukah.
Okay. The only problem with that is that Chanukah happened during the time of the second Beis HaMikdash. When did the story of Purim happen?
The first Beis HaMikdash.
The story of Purim happened in between Beis HaMikdashes. There was no Beis HaMikdash by the story of Purim. Okay? So even though Chanukah comes first on the calendar, but the Purim story happened first. Okay, he says that. So which one happened first? He says that. Which one happened first?
Purim.
Purim. How do you know?
Because there was no Beis HaMikdash.
Right. And when did the Chanukah story happen? Which Beis HaMikdash?
The second.
Okay, right. The second one. Okay, which day did they win the war? He says that. Which day did they win the war? What was the date? Was it on Thanksgiving?
I know.
What's that? He says that.
Thanksgiving.
No, Thanksgiving? No. Chav Hei Kislev, right. Okay, so he says I thought Thanksgiving. And, but Chav Hei Kislev. Now he says what happened on Thanksgiving?
They weren't being nice.
Okay, we'll get to Thanksgiving a different time because it's not a Jewish holiday, so it's an American holiday. Okay, they entered the Eichel, they did not find any or oil in the Mikdash. What did they find? How much oil did they find? He says that. How much oil did they find?
So much.
They found a lot of oil?
Yes.
Was it tahor or tamei?
Tahor.
But actually, okay, Toby, what do you say?
One little thing, like one little ball of oil.
But they found a little tiny pitcher of oil. Okay? So how much the oil was only enough to last for how long? How many? The oil was so little, how long could it last? How many days was it able to last?
How many Hanukkah days there was?
It was only one day. There was, but a miracle happened.
Actually, it was technically only able to
an eighth of a day. Okay. Eighth of a day. Okay, so
one candle for an hour or so. Because there was just one drop.
So you're right. It did end up lasting 8 days, but really there was only enough to last one day. But it ended up lasting 8 days. How could one day turn into 8 days?
I know.
He says, how did that happen?
Because Hanukkah is 8 days.
But
I didn't mention 8 days.
I know, but how did it go from 1 day to 8 days? How did that happen? Did Superman come and make it go for 8 days? Or did a magician? Was it a magician that came and he just waved his magic wand and now it lasted 8 days?
No, because Hashem made an ace.
Wait, Hashem made an ace. Okay. All right, so they we're constantly, I don't know what it is with these tablecloths. Okay, they only found one pitcher, and it was still sealed with the Kohen Gadol. They only had enough to light one day, but a nace happened, and those candles were there for 8 days until they crushed the olives and they brought back. How long did it take to make new olive oil? He says that. Go. How long did it take to make new olive oil? It took them 3 days to get to the olive tree, okay? So think about it. 3 days there. If it took them 3 days there, how many days did it take them to come back? It might have even been 4 days.
1, 0.
So it was 3. It took them. What? Okay. Find a pen and we'll write your name on these tickets. Okay. Okay, it took them
3 days to get there, 3 days to come back.
It was either 3 or 4 days to get there, 3 or 4 days to get back. It took them 8 days. It took them 8 days. So that's why Hashem made the miracle last 8 days, because after 8 days they had new oil. Okay? Alright, now, so the days of Chafei are they days of Simcha? He says that are they days of Simcha?
Yes.
Right. What do you say? Days of is Chanukah days of Simcha?
Yes.
Correct. Is Chanukah days of Hallel?
Yes.
Okay, Yisrael is right. They're days of Simcha and Hallel. What time of day do we light the candles? In the evening or in the morning?
In the evening.
What do you say?
Evening.
Evening, right. Okay, al Pischei Habatim. We light it by Pischei Habatim means the entranceway to the house. Now, do we light it by the entranceway to the house? Do we open up the door and light the candles right over there?
No.
Right, but he says that we do.
I know. They used to, but then they realized that they could use it for light, so now we have to do it right by the window.
Okay, I think.
Or like just like last year we did it right by the window.
Right, so in Eretz Yisrael, they do it by the door. Do we do it every night, or do we only do it some nights? Yisrael says, do we do it every night of Chanukah or only some nights? We light the candles every night or only some nights?
Some nights.
Okay, Yisrael says some nights.
I know.
Okay.
Every night.
Okay, so it's every night. Every night of Chanukah, we light the Chanukah candles. Laharos ulagalos hanes. So why do we light the Chanukah candles? What are we trying to do?
Trying to remember the time when by the Beis HaMikdash when.
And we're spreading the nace. Right, we want other people to, it's called Parsume Nisa. We're publicizing. We want other people to become aware of the nace as well. Okay, we want other people to know about it. We're not going to hide it. We're not trying to hide it. Like, just whisper it whisper into my ear that there was Hashem helped to get him. Like, no. Okay, so these days are called Chanukah because of Chanukah. Because on Chafei they rested from their enemies. Now, because they are days of Simcha, what does the word Simcha mean?
Happy.
Happy. They're days of happiness, and they're days of Hallel. What does Hallel mean? Praise, to praise Hashem. Therefore, it is forbidden to have a hesped or a tanis. You're not allowed to fast. There's a minhag for poor people to go around on Chanukah to collect money. Okay? Just so the poor people go around on Chanukah. Are we going to find poor people at our door, Mishalachim knocking on our door like that on Chanukah?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
You're not.
On Purim for sure.
Just on Purim.
not poor people knocking you.
Also on regular days. Also on regular days, people, there's some poor persons that they need money.
Yeah.
Or you could do that by Capolis, because by some people they don't take a chicken and they do Capolis. They take money and they do Capolis.
Yeah.
What's it called? On Purim, it goes the opposite. Not poor people knocking your door, you knock on poor people's door.
Okay, fine, but people also ask for you for money. All right. Now, what's another difference between Chanukah and Purim? On Chanukah,
We didn't do tshuva, and on Purim we did.
so on Purim, Haman wanted to destroy every single part of us. Did he want to kill us? Did Haman want to kill us? He says that. Did Haman want to kill us?
Yes.
Right. Did the Greeks want to kill us?
Yes.
So here's the thing: the Greeks only wanted us to stop being Jewish, but they didn't want to actually kill us. Okay.
They just wanted to get a bigger nation so they can fight with more people.
They just wanted us to stop keeping the Torah, learning the Torah. So even though that's actually worse, but at the end of the day, so we only celebrate Chanukah. We celebrate it with our neshama, which is singing and saying thanks, and a little bit with food. But on Purim, the celebration is with everything, including food, because
Food, some people do food, money, drinks, all these things.
right now, so far,
Food, we do clothing,
right now.
clothing, money.
So here's the thing. We don't see anything about elephants over here. However, in the Aruch HaShulchan, we do. So they came with elephants. But I can't find it right now in here. Maybe it's over here. Ayin Perhetiv, Erev Chanukah, Nashim. Okay, so now we go. So we're not allowed to fast. Some people, women have a minhag not to do malacha. Now, what does that mean? Women have a minhag not to do malacha. What does that mean? What does that mean? They don't turn on and off lights all day. They don't drive their car. What does malacha mean? Right. So on Shabbos we say malacha means like turning on and off lights. But for Chanukah, I think it means things that you wouldn't do on Chol Moed. That's what I think.
Working hard, like not turning on. Like you're allowed to do electricity.
Okay, yeah.
It's not
He says
working.
that's holding up his hand. What?
But on Shabbos, really, you're not supposed to drive. You're going to turn on the lights.
Right. But on Chanukah, they just like don't. So the minhag is when the candles are lit.
Like, don't work. Like, don't build.
Oh, and also on Hanukkah and Purim, those are not really young too, so you're allowed to drive or turn on or turn off the light.
Hanukkah and Purim are just from Rabbanan. It doesn't say in the Torah that you should keep Hanukkah and Purim.
Okay, right. There's no actual pasuk in the Torah that tells us about Chanukah or Purim. Now, but so some people have the minhag, some women have the minhag while the candles are lit, they will not do any work. They'll just sit by the candles. I don't know if mommy has such a minhag. Maybe everyone has this minhag. Okay, and a person should have a little bit more food than usual on Chanukah, but it's not like you have to have a meal like on Purim. It's not. You're not obligated to. On Purim, you have to. On Chanukah, you should have a little bit. There's also a minhag. Now, why?
You shouldn't have too much. If you have too much on Hanukkah, then it might fool you. You like you can be sad.
Now, here's something interesting.
But the thing is,
Right,
you
right,
shouldn't
exactly.
eat too much on Hanukkah because then you'll be full,
And you shouldn't eat too little. Which means the purpose of the eating is only so that you'll be besimcha. Whereas there's no purpose of just making you happy with food. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to women not doing work, it says it means they shouldn't sew. Okay? But when it comes to cooking and baking, says the... One second. He didn't take your... What did he just take?
Let's take off and he gave it to him because he needs to wait.
He took the pen. Okay. Alright, so the women have the minhag when it comes to cooking and baking. It says Hagaon Rav Wosner. Fine, so let him collect your tickets. We'll just put them there. It says Rav Wosner, okay, that women should cook and bake. And any malacha that has a lot of amelas, such as shetifas ratzpa, like vacuuming.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Fine. I think they should not vacuum the floor. And in terms of washing the dishes, also perhaps they shouldn't wash the dishes. Rav Chaim Kanievsky, okay, so give it to him. Rav Chaim Kanievsky said that doing the wash and sewing is included in the Isser, but not baking and cooking. So it sounds like women should not be doing the wash, they shouldn't be doing laundry, and they shouldn't be vacuuming this up. Wait, just... Okay.
That's what I was doing.
Okay, that's what he was doing. Okay, so... okay, now if there's going to be a loss, then they would be allowed to sew or whatever. Such as, it's kind of similar to Chol HaMoed. And they asked the Chazon Ish, which malachas should women not do while candlelighting? And what do you think they said? The following is a trailer to the podcast called Authentic Torah. We have a guest here on our show today. What is your name?
Shah.
Yishazav, how old are you?
4.
You're 4. And what happens if you don't have a cup? So what should you do?
Buy a cup.
Buy a cup. But let's say you don't have a cup. Should you wash anyways, or should you just not wash?
Or you can order cups in the mail, or you can order cups in the Target drive-up.
Order cups on the Target drive-up. So the Aruch HaShulchan didn't bring that one down, or the Mishnah Berurah. You can get one in the mail or the Target drive-up if you don't have a cup.